Today I want to introduce you guys to a new product of ours. It's not a new idea, it's just finally a good execution of a really good idea, just a better execution of what you have seen in the past available elsewhere. But nonetheless, we're going to call them slippery washers. You've probably known them to be called anti-friction washers. The problem with what's available today is they're made out of plastic. I'm not going to verify, give you 100%, but I believe originally it was made out of Teflon and now a cheaper polypropylene. And I'm kidding, but then I'm not kidding. It's pretty much similar to cutting the plastic out of a 6-pack of Coke holder and putting it in here. And it is slippery, but what happens is that your spring right here, and we'll get in a little closer, has a little ledge on it. And so, well, where am I? So it'll dig into that plastic. Of course, it's in there like this, and as it turns, it'll dig into that plastic. And to be honest with you, the whole purpose behind them probably doesn't last long at all. So the idea was good, is to make the secondary clutch work more efficient, because as this thing opens up, the one half turns, and so it turns the spring with it. And so if you could get to where the spring pivots, then it's going to open and close much more efficiently. It's going to be a more consistent acceleration and a lot better back shift. So back shifting is the best analogy I can give you. Is you're running across the flat ground and you turn up a hill, sand dune. You want it to back shift in the lower quicker to get you on up the hill. So anyway, we've came up through a really good new friend of ours, engineer friend, who has made these friction washers out of metal and then impregnated them, and we'll call it a secret sauce, but it is a powder that gets impregnated into the pores of the metal, and then when they run against each other, it's really slick. And so we're going to show you real quick how to put these in. But like I said, it's a pretty good idea, poor execution, and thanks to my friend Michael and Hunterworks together come up with this, and I think it's going to work really good. So we got our secondary into one of our tools that we sell. I've already had this one open. I did a cleaning on it earlier today. So run your tool down, press your spring, and I've already got it loose a little bit, but I use a very redneck method to get a nut loose, which is never can remember what this thing's even called. Looks like I got that material on my lip, but not a punch, but whatever. Get on the side of the nut and drive it around. Okay, so my nut's already loose, and then you take this off. Okay, now I just give you good advice. This one I've already cleaned, but the time to be putting this on is when you was changing the spring. If you bought a spring from us and you was changing your spring to orange or gold or whatever it may be, now's the time. But also I will state that when you're changing the spring, it's also a dang good time to clean your secondary up. This one was completely nasty inside. I'm not even sure how it worked. Alright, so let's assume that you've gotten this point, which you can watch in one of our videos. Pop this cup off, pins come out, clean it, re-grease it, put it back together. Like I said, we got another video for that. And basically, you just like me now, we got a clean clutch, and you simply not sure how the editing is going to turn out on this, but I want to say something about these washers, and I need to put this in the install little video on this, and you may see it in 2 places. Power of editing. These come in a plastic bag, and it looks like a bunch of powder in there, loose powder. When you cut the bag open and just dump them out, whatever, hold them like this. Don't put your fingers on them, whatever. Don't get the dust off, don't shake them off, leave it on there. Alright, so the least you can touch it until you get it in the vehicle, the better. So get them out, leave them stacked up, and then here, 10-iron spring cup, and put them in there. Why? Because they are impregnated and they have been tumbled, but that excess powder, you want it to stay and allow the pressure of the clutch itself to finish the process of burnishing it in. So the more on there, the merrier. Yes, it's been done pre, you could blow them off and still do it. For my sake, I'd say leave it, put them in, and let it burnish it on in, and then that's the proper way to deal with these washers, and then you won't have any problem. Once it's burnished in, you can't wash it out, you can't get it out. The only way to get it out is grind it out. So that's the way I want you to handle these washers. Take your 2 washers, try not to have greasy hands, don't get anything else on them. Drop them down, both of them down in the spring cup. Okay, then simply put your spring back. Alright, and anyway, that's the action that we're improving right there. It's going to be this twisting. Okay, put the spring retainer, whatever you want to call it, back, nut on there, press it back down. This tool and this vise sometimes pops out when I do this. I really need to mount it somewhere. Like I said, I really need to mount mine. Alright, get your nut back started, and then you simply, this thing will bottom out and tighten it down, it bottoms out, and then take your, what is this thing called? I always have a brain fart with it. Anyway, it's not a punch. Anyway, put it back, tighten it back up the same way, just like our other video showing you how to do it. And that's pretty much it. And then just take it off, put it back in the vehicle. And like I said, it's only going to be $10 in with something, and 10 plus shipping, whatever it turns out to be for. And again, I think it's a really good idea. Not much, whole lot of money, and not going to wear out, and being metal, the spring's not going to gouge down in there. If any more questions, give me a call here at Hunterworks. Thanks.